Hi everybody, Joe Apello here with George Connor. We are back after our summer vacation, our summer hiatus, so to speak.
Sabbatical. Yeah.
Yep. We're back in full force here to talk about football, a little baseball, not too much basketball, I don't think. A little golf maybe today.
Absolutely. A lot of golf to talk about. Lots of golf to talk about.
Lots of golf we can talk about, yeah. Tennis, too much.
Not so much.
Not too much. All right. Baseball-wise, Yankees are still on board as having the best record in baseball, along with the Astros and the Dodgers. All three of them are in the mix for that. Twins are leading the Central Division. Astros, the West, and then the Yankees are in the East. And in the National League, we got the Braves, we got the Cardinals, Cubs, and the Brewers fighting out in the middle division, and the Dodgers way ahead.
18 games out.
18 games out ahead. Yeah,
Even the Mets couldn't blow an 18-game lead.
Yeah.
Although, with 19 games left, they might.
You never know. So as we run down to baseball, the teams are jockeying for playoff position. I think one of the big things, and people don't understand, is that now the records matter for the regular season, and obviously the head-to-head. But if you have the better record of the team that you're playing against, you get the home field advantage.
Yep.
And last year, all the playoff teams won this Game 7 or the final game of their series because they were home. So I think that's a big thing nowadays.
Yeah, and that's what they wanted to achieve with the I guess you're not supposed to call it a play-in game, but it is a play-in game to keep teams playing all the way through.
All the way through.
Yep.
And they've changed the, well, they still have the expanded roster in September. Next year, it only goes out to 28, 29 guys, but now they could have up to 40 guys, which leaves for a crowded locker room, crowded dugout. Can't get a seat. But they've got extra guys now for the stretch run. Now, the Yankees, in their situation, are trying to get all their big guns back. But in the meantime, they had all these role players coming through and had great seasons for them. Urshela played, he was vying for the batting title. He's hurt right now. Playing tremendous defensively at third base. They knew he was a great defender at third, but they didn't realize he could hit at the major level.
Yeah.
They've got Stan, who's rehabbing back. He might be back for middle of September, hopefully for October. You've got Hicks still rehabbing. You got Severino and Betances are throwing a little bit to get ready for their October. I think the bottom line is if they get all their guys back, will they be ready to play in October at what level? It's almost like a spring training in September for them. So that's going to be very interesting how they handle it. And then they've got these extra guys like Mike Tauchman, Mike Ford, that played very well. And what do you do with those guys? They probably don't make. CC probably won't make the roster actually at this point for the Yankees. So a lot of question marks. I think it becomes a situation where whoever is deemed ready to play in October will make that roster. If I were to make a starting lineup for the Yankees right now, with everyone at full health, you'd probably have Stan on left, Hicks in center, Judge in right. You'd have LeMahieu at third, Didi at short, Glaber at second, and Voit and Encarnacion at first, with Sanchez catching. And whoever Voit or Encarnacion doesn't play first, the other one will DH, and that's a heck of a lineup.
Yeah.
When they're all healthy and ready to go. That's the question. Will they be?
Yeah, so now, I think, obviously the playoffs are, they're not going to get knocked out of the playoffs. They're not going to have to play a play-in game or the first round. So they have, so the question now is it's the mix of resting guys to heal from the little nicked up injuries, but also not give them so much rest that they get stale.
Right. I think the thing is if they have the best record in the American League, they will play the winner of the wild card game.
Correct.
So in that respect,
who then has to pitch their ace for that game?
Right, to get into the playoffs. Right. And the Yankees, say the Yankees are the top seed. So if the Yankees are top seed, and they play the wild card winner, which could be any number of teams, and then you've got the Astros and maybe the Twins or the Indians waiting on the other side.
Yeah, right now it looks like Tampa. If it ended today, Tampa would play Cleveland.
Cleveland, okay, and then Twins would be So, so that's an interesting scenario there, and it also would be at the higher seeded home park for that first round game after the wild card. The wild card's tough because you got one game, you got to pitch your ace, pitch your best player to move forward.
Yep.
And if you don't,
assuming, if you're in a tight battle, you might have to put your ace out there for the last game of the season or the second to last game.
Right. Because you make it.
If
Just to make it,
if
right.
you're talking like in the National League, there's one less team than there was a couple days ago in the mix, but there's a lot of teams in the mix.
Right. Then you have the age-old question: rest, too much rest, stay sharp. So are some teams better off playing those pressure games right to the end and going into the playoffs, playing pressure baseball, or you better just hanging out and just cruising and then trying to turn it on for the playoffs? So that's always an age-old question of the best way to do that. With the Yankees might be toying with the idea of using an opener, like a Chad Green.
An opener.
An opener for one of those games. Right now, Paxton pitched a tremendous game last night against the Texas Rangers, but it's between him and Tanaka, I think, for the number one spot. Even though Herman is 17-3, nobody talks about the guy. Guy's 17-3, and he doesn't even get any talk for the Cy Young or anything.
Yeah.
Because you got Cole and Verlander are both. I think Verlander is 14-5 and Cole's 15-5, and they lead the league in strikeouts. So you've got those two are the Cy Young candidates or front runners, but then you got Herman 17-3. And he's not even mentioned the same conversation with these guys.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't really think it's so. In theory, Herman should be your number one starter based on just pure record, but that's not. I don't think they feel that way. So I think it's going to be Paxton, and then Tanaka, and then Herman in the top three, and then you've got Severino's pitching now, which he could be the opener because he might not be ready to go 50, 60, 70 pitches. He might be good for 30 pitches, open up a game.
Yeah.
Then you bring
Go a couple
Green
innings.
or somebody else. So, so it's very interesting the way I think it's a big key how the Yankees play all these different scenarios.
I heard a stat today for Major League Baseball. The average start is 5.3 innings.
Okay.
So they're getting one out. I mean, so the average is getting one out in the sixth inning.
Right. So two at bats for the other team, and then the third at bat, you want to get them out of there.
I mean, if you're Mr. Average team and your starters are giving you, they're getting one out in the sixth inning every night. How do you have a bullpen for that?
Yeah,
that's a
lot.
I
think in a perfect world you go 6 inning starter, 7th inning guy, 8th inning guy, and a closer. That's in a perfect world. And you just look at Britton as the Britton and Ottavino as the 6th, 7th, 8th guys, and then Patansis would be the 8th guy, and then
so you have
I don't know.
You have like basically 3 closers.
Right.
But you only get to close the 7th inning. You're going to close the 8th inning.
Right. And then there's the other school of thought where in the 7th inning, when say the top of the order comes up for the 7th inning for the other team, you bring in your closer then. With some teams to face the best hitters of the team instead of having a closer pitch the 9th inning where you're looking at 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what a couple teams did last year. We're very effective with that. He brought in Andrew Miller a couple times to do that and to get through the lineup. And that's almost the same thought as an opener where they go through the top of the order and then get him out of there and get the second guy go, the bottom of the order. So, it's very important to the Mariners to kind of plan this out and to see how that goes. Like I said, I don't think CC is going to make the roster, but CC is actually a borderline Hall of Famer, which I think he makes the Hall of Fame. Do you think CC makes the Hall of Fame?
I think what might count against him is a lot of those voters. They call them accumulators. That he's been playing for so long. He's got massive numbers.
Yeah.
But he's got massive numbers because he's been pitching for 18 years.
18 years, yeah. I think as a starting left-handed pitcher, he's got like 3rd or 4th in baseball history for strikeouts and wins. He's got a couple World Series wins. So I think he makes it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not going to be like a landslide. But
couple ballots down.
I think he makes it.
Not first ballot.
He makes it. Yeah, he makes it. Yeah, he'll make it at some point. I think. Yeah. I mean, Mike Machine can make it. He made it. I mean, so that's where we're at there now. As far as the Mets go, the Mets had a tough game last night. They were winning 10-4.
10-4.
Bottom of the 9th, and they got beat 11-10.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, about 3 weeks ago, if you happen to recall, Steven Matz, I think, was on the bump.
Yep.
Had
79 pitches.
79. I was going to say 76.
I watched the game.
79 pitches.
Dealing.
Yeah.
I mean, just like domination.
So they bring in Seth Lugo.
That was after Matz ran the bases, though. Oh God.
They batted him.
Yep.
And then they pull him. They put Seth Lugo out there because that week.
Yep.
You see, that week Seth Lugo was the best reliever in baseball, according to Terry Calloway.
Yeah.
Last night.
Well, let's go back to the press conference there with that. And they asked Callaway to move.
He'd do it 1,000 times over. Yep. I'm not going to learn from my mistakes. I'm going to do it again.
Reliever in baseball. I would do 100 times out of 100 times.
Yeah. So now fast forward to last night.
Yep.
10-4. They pick up a couple. Well, actually,
they picked five, 6 runs in the top of the ninth, was it?
Yeah. Turner, the shortstop, didn't know how many outs there were.
Yep.
Instead of turning a routine double play.
Yep.
Those are the first. McNeil gets a hit.
Yep.
So they get all these bonus runs.
Yep. Couple tack-on runs.
Now, McNeil had pitched a clean 8th inning.
Yep.
Remember now, the best reliever in baseball.
Lugo, yeah.
Or Lugo.
Lugo pitched 8th inning.
And they don't put him out there for
How many pitches did he throw?
He
20, maybe?
Maybe 20, yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't put him out there next thing you know, boom, boom, boom.
Well, I think the thought process that they were up by 6 runs and anyone could come in there and just finish it out and get the hell out of there.
You would think.
But
40 minutes later,
bada boo, bada bing.
Edwin Diaz, I think that was maybe his 6th or 7th blown save.
Amazing.
Gives up a no-question home run.
Yep.
To left field.
It's a walk-off, right?
Which then put the Mets now, that's five games out of the wild card.
Yep. Big loss.
Cubs just keep winning.
They lost in it.
So to me, that kind of put the end on it.
That was a tough one.
Now, as a Met fan, you come to live with these things. You kind of expect it. Maybe I'm psychotic.
Yep.
But I really, really, really like this Mets team.
Plus
going forward.
But they beat Scherzer. They were beating Scherzer yesterday too.
They beat him up bad.
Yeah. Had a nice
Scherzer
lead.
has not been that sharp.
No.
But the Mets now, since they got rid of Harvey, but when Harvey came up, I mean, they really have a great pitching staff. They were healthy this year. Syndergaard missed
bullpen settled in, nice.
Kinda, yeah.
Last month or so it has.
Yeah. That middle relief was
Justin
the problem.
Wilson's been doing very well. Lefty out of there.
Pitched the 9th, I believe. He pitched the 9th today.
Okay.
So the pitching's always kind of been there.
Yep.
They did string it together this year to where they were healthy most of the year. So like I said, Syndergaard missed a little bit of time mid-season, but Pete Alonso, who now has 45 home runs.
He had a bomb last
45
night.
home runs.
Yep.
Then you got J.D. Davis, Jeff McNeil, Ahmed Rosario.
Yep.
You've got a really good core of young players that,
Yep.
I mean, we could be watching them in orange and blue for those 4. I mean,
Joe
10 more years.
Joe Panic's all right.
Yeah,
Joe
Panik
player.
hit a home run today.
Yeah, and then and Wilson Ramos had a 20. I wonder if he got it today.
It ended today.
Oh, it ended today. Okay.
So he had the 26 game hitting
in a row.
streak.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it ended on, it was kind of garbage time, but hard shot up the middle. The guy made a great play on it and, kind of stole it.
Because he actually continued that streak in the middle there with a couple of pitch hits. You got any ball game, you got pitch hits.
Yeah.
Continued that streak, so that was pretty impressive.
Last night was, the best scenario. And it's not like he got to 40 where he's talking about DiMaggio and stuff. But, you get up to the high teens and 20s, it becomes a thing. And last night, first at bat, boom, he gets it. So now it's out of the way. Came up today in the 8th. And again, the guy just made a great play on him, beat it out. The Mets dugout all, stood up and applauded.
Yeah.
And, they kind of figured that was it.
Pretty impressive, yeah.
Although,
he took that catching job.
There was a pretty good chance that, the Nationals could tie it up and he could get another bat.
That's true. They 4 more bats.
But like I said, I really like the young core of the Mets and the pitching. I'm really glad.
And Stroman's done all right.
Stroman's been solid, gutsy.
Zach Wheeler's not bad. And you got DeGrom and Syndergaard. Syndergaard had a bad start 2 starts ago. And then he was awesome.
Give him 10 runs in the first inning.
First inning, and he got the first inning almost. Yeah.
And then he got 10 strikeouts in his next.
He was like night and day between those 2 starts.
And he was, going back to the trade deadline. That was a big rumor.
Yeah.
Big rumor that he was going to go. I was down in Orlando when that was going on at the Golf Channel. The guy who kind of takes care of me down there, and the handle guy, is a Mets fan as well. And so the whole day we're filming some stuff and then we're checking our phones to make sure he didn't go. And shortly, right after the trade deadline passed, so I think it was like 5 o'clock or something, boom, that's it. Syndergaard, who, if you're on Twitter, follow Noah Syndergaard. It's hilarious. But he puts up this clip from Wolf of Wall Street. And, a lot of it's bleeped out.
Yep.
But, it's if you've seen the movie, it's DiCaprio in the morning meetings, and everybody's quiet. He's got the microphone, and he says, "I'm not leaving."
Yeah.
I'm not leaving. And it's just, it was just great. And as good as Syndergaard is as a pitcher, I think as an individual and as a leader of the team, I think that's a reason you just can't get rid of that guy.
Well, one under the radar situation when they got Stroman in there, he provided another serviceable, very good starter, and Lugo did not have to start anymore. spot start or anything.
Right.
So he can go full-time bullpen. I think that was.
Yeah.
And then Justin Wilson came back.
Yeah.
So you got two good arms, and then Diaz. It wasn't all the pressure on Diaz. He pitched well until the other night, but he had a couple decent closes.
With the exception of, like, say, Trevor Hoffman and Rivera, closers don't have 7, 6, 5 years in a row of great closing.
Right.
Diaz had a great year out in California last year.
Yep.
The Mets, wasn't really comfortable with this, but halfway through the season, when Diaz was getting nicked up a little bit, well, he threw too many innings last year. Well, you knew that.
Yeah.
You know, or in Seattle rather.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm okay with that.
I mean,
he could bounce back next year and have 2 blown saves and 42
he's got good
saves.
stuff. He's throwing 98 for sure.
Yeah.
Then I like McNeil, but McNeil's a heck of a hitter. Heck of a hitter.
Oh yeah.
My goodness gracious, what did you bat? 336.
Something. Yeah. I think
322, whatever the heck it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
320.
He always has good at bats all the time, and Alonso's got just a polar bear.
And Rosario, Ahmed Rosario.
Yeah, he's playing. Yeah.
He just keeps getting better and better. Defensively, I think he's really stepped up his game. Offensively, key hits. He's really becoming what I consider an
J.D. Davis has been 300, and
love J.D.
Davis. Frazier gives you a pop here and there, and then you got Conforto. It's pretty consistent. Yeah. And then Ramos has having a good year, so you got a nice little nucleus there.
Yep.
And when Cespedes comes back, it'll be okay.
You had to go there, Joe?
Who?
We don't need no Cespedes.
About it. And then Robinson Cano, don't you know?
Robinson Cano hit a home run today. He's
coming back.
He came back off of he had a hamstring tear, pull, whatever.
How about Justin Verlander pitching no hitter the other night?
Yeah.
He's something else. That guy, 36 years old.
Yeah.
Got it all. He's got the
Nolan Ryan
Kate Upton
was kind of the same way, where he was throwing no hitters really late in his career.
Yeah. He's got the only bugaboo against Verlander is that he'll give up a home run here and there. Gets hit by the home run bug, which is kind of. How does that make sense though? Where the guy throws such good stuff and all of a sudden he gives up home runs here and there. I don't know, maybe catch it in the middle.
Throw a helicopter up there every once in a while.
Yeah, and that's like playing to the Yankees' hands where they hit a lot of home runs and they face Verlander. Yeah. So you got Verlander and.
Now, are you worried about Alonso breaking Aaron Judge's rookie home run record?
I hope he does. Why not?
Yeah,
why not?
Because as a Mets guy, not a Yankees guy,
he's got how many
we don't get to play in the shoebox of Yankee Stadium.
I'll ignore that remark. So what did you got? They got 18 games left, 19 games left, maybe in September, something like that.
At least that.
Yeah. So he's got a chance to hit over 50. Yes, that's pretty amazing.
And I'll have to look at the schedule a little bit more. But if he has got a couple games in Philly, he can hit a lot of home runs in Philadelphia.
Yeah. That's quite the. At least they found 2 good young players, and J.D. Davis too. I mean, he's a young guy too.
Yeah.
He was kind of pushed out of the Astros picture too. He was. He didn't get any time with the Astros, and he gets a chance with the Mets. It shows you such a fine line in the Major League Baseball, how if guys get a chance to get some at bats and get in there, you never know what they can do.
Yeah.
You get settled in, and the minor leagues aren't really reflective of how you're going to do an approach. You just never know. I mean, it's a little bit obviously gives you a little.
22 games left.
22 games left. Yep. Okay, so you can hit. I think you can hit 10. Who knows?
Hit 2.
Easy. 54 home runs.
Yeah, 3 a week.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Astros are tough, though. The Astros are a complete team defensively, offensively, and they have to pitch. And the only thing is the bullpen's not as strong as the rest of their team, but Michael Brownlee was a big pickup they got. He's actually leading the league in hitting, I think. I mean, DJ LeMahieu are battling out for the batting title.
Yeah.
But they're obviously, and they've been there before, they're obviously very, very tough. So it's going to be a fun October. I hope the Yankees and Dodgers make the World Series. That would be the best.
I think
that would be a lot of fun.
The TV networks would love it.
That would be a lot of fun. Yeah. That would be off the charts.
No disrespect, but if it's Houston and Cleveland, I think on a national basis the ratings are just not.
Yeah, great. I think people will still watch it pretty good, but I mean not like the craziness of the Yankees and the Dodgers. The Dodgers have so many young guys coming up.
Yeah.
Max Muncy and this guy Joe Smith. They get these guys that come out of their minors that are just like tremendous.
Yeah.
And there's just not enough time for these guys.
Yeah.
But how about what else in baseball? There was a couple other good stories there. Carlos Carrasco came back from leukemia.
Yeah.
Pitched the other night.
Yeah.
How about Tyler Skaggs? Did you read that story with the? He's the guy in the Angels that found him in a hotel room dead. about a month ago.
Oh,
27 years old.
Yeah.
Fentanyl, drugs,
Is that
and
what it was?
yeah, alcohol. He choked on his own vomit in the hotel room.
You know, I heard that early, and I'm not sure what was going on, but
You don't just die at 27 years old just by going to bed or something. I mean,
yeah, I mean, every once in a while there was Hank Gathers had a heart attack.
not being a wise guy, but they kind of underplay. I don't know what the purpose of telling the truth is. Maybe it doesn't really solve anything. But guy Tyler Skaggs was supposed to be this goody two shoes, great guy, this and that, and he was doing something wrong. When Roy Halladay died, he was so high on morphine, they said he could kill the horse. He was flying his airplane 5 feet over the ocean, and he was on morphine. I don't know if he was shooting. I don't know what kind of morphine. Jose Hernandez was all coked up on, when he wrecked his boat. I mean, Len Bias. I mean, these guys, they do this crazy stuff, and they kind of underplay it, which is probably the classy thing to do, not for the families and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't serve a purpose to really tell the truth, but man, there's just.
It is a tragedy, and in telling the truth, is it a teaching moment for younger kids?
Yep.
Or, that high school, college kid who's going to be in that setting in 2 years,
Yep. Even like with Big Papi, he had a house or apartment in one of these luxury suites in Dominican that this big cartel drug dealer had, and allegedly the cartel's wife or something, Big Papi had bought her a car or something like that. So there was a connection there. So that was a rumor that there was a hit on him at that restaurant because he was with the cartel's wife. So that was another thing that was kind of downplayed.
Yeah, because I heard that was mistaken identity.
Yeah, can you imagine? I don't know how that happens.
Well,
I'm sure that the shooter's not the most smartest guy in the room either.
Well, but I mean, you got to think if you're from the Dominican, you know what Big Papi
shoot
looks
Big
like.
Papi, you're not going to miss.
You know what Pedro Martinez looks like. You kind of know those guys.
So that was, that's kind of again, same thing. I mean, he does a lot of great things, and he probably made a mistake with this woman. Yeah. And God only knows what again the truth what really happened there. But it seemed like it was a mob hit.
Yeah.
But again, who knows on that. All right, so baseball the next couple weeks should be a lot of fun to watch. I think the big thing with the Yankees again is just getting them ready for the postseason. The problem with baseball, man, you can be out 2 games and your season can be done after working real hard all year, and all of a sudden, boom, you're gone. But
or for some players, you work hard almost all year, and then on September 3rd, you blow a 6-run lead, and the season's over.
And then you're done. Then you do 1, 2, 3 Cancun, like you say on the NBA telecast there. Tennis had that Coco Gauff. Did you see that in the U.S. Open? She made some noise there, a little 15-year-old.
Yeah, at Wimbledon, she beat one of the Williams sisters.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then
the Williams girl, I mean, actually, one of them I think is in the quarterfinals now, but they've been around a long time.
Osaka beat her the other night and made a nice gesture with helping her off the court or whatever. But so that's a little bit tense.
Federer lost last night.
What?
Roger Federer.
He got beat. Yeah. And Djokovic has a shoulder problem. He withdrew too. So.
Whoa, I just realized we're talking about tennis.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go on to something else. Let's talk about something else.
What have we become? Transfer portal. Let's go with that.
Okay, let's go to transfer portal.
Now, this was something that was kind of interesting. I was watching college football and always transfer portal. What the hell's a transfer portal?
Yeah, and you're watching Doctor Who,
Yeah. All you think is like a porta potty or something.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Anyway, so a transfer portal is what?
So a transfer portal is, it used to be quite difficult for a recruited college scholarship athlete to go say, you're wearing a Florida polo there. So he goes, he commits and takes a scholarship to go to the University of Florida. If he wanted to leave Florida and go to Michigan, somewhere else, all kinds of paperwork, probably going to have to sit out.
Got to be released by the team, I think.
Got to be released by the team, and so Florida would have the option if you're going to leave Florida, they could say, okay, you don't have to sit out a year, go ahead, or they could say, no, you made a commitment to us. We based our recruiting in the old days. We based our recruiting around you. You say you're in baseball, you're going to be the shortstop. But you had to sit though,
no matter what, didn't you?
You didn't. There was a way out of it.
Oh.
So Florida could release you. For whatever reason, you had a financial hardship, you needed to go to school closer to home, or something like that. If you weren't just leaving because I don't like it here, I want to go, they could do the right thing in that case and just say, okay, go ahead.
Right.
If you just wanted to leave because you weren't getting playing time or something like that, you're probably going to have to sit for a year.
Right.
But then
everybody gets a trophy, everybody gets what they want now. So now there's this transfer portal. So in a couple weeks or something, the portal opens up, and all athletes and all sports or whatever else can throw their name in here. They're not saying that they're leaving their university, but hey, I'm looking to move. It's like putting an ad on Indeed or
I
something.
think their emails are available to other coaches.
Yep. And so now a coach can reach out
Yep.
and contact, whereas they can't before
Yep.
that.
Yep.
As a college coach, I can't chat
Yep.
up a golfer from another team and say, well, geez, why don't you come on over here? And so we were talking about a little bit today. It's
Well, I think
it's
in
kind of the generation.
the past used to be the grad transfers that started the ball rolling on that.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson did that. A couple other guys, graduated from
Their
college.
fifth year.
Yeah, and they went to another school and had one more year eligibility left and played.
Yep.
And did that. Jalen Hurts is doing that.
Yeah.
From Alabama, he graduated already, and he's at Oklahoma. But a couple of guys, Justin Fields, he was eligible right away, and I think in the portal. You're granted immediate eligibility if you meet certain requirements. What they are, kind of like arbitrary, I think.
Clean record,
Yeah.
academics. You
Yeah.
can't have a 1.7
Yeah.
GPA or something.
You get these
like
guys that go to school and there's two other 4-star quarterbacks there, and then he beats you out, and then you're like, oh,
that. And that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I go. I'm not getting the playing time.
Yeah.
And
does that teach your kids to just give up and go somewhere else, run somewhere else, or do you hang in there and bide your time?
And again, as a coach, when you're recruiting, you might be recruiting for this season. You might be recruiting. I bring you in as a freshman, as a football player. I'm probably going to have you for 5 years.
You got Jake Fromm, who chased away Tony Eason, who's at Washington, and Justin Fields, who's at Ohio State, both top 5-star recruits.
Yeah.
And Jake Fromm's still there.
Yeah.
So they couldn't unseat him.
Right.
He's a junior. He might be a top draft pick. But I like him. But so that's
so the transfer portal again, it just makes it easy for kids to jump schools.
So Justin Fields goes from Georgia to Ohio State. Tate Martell, who was Ohio State, goes to Miami, I believe.
Yeah.
And so these guys jump around.
Yep.
Wimbush from Notre Dame went to, I think, one of Florida schools, UCF, I think.
Yeah.
And these guys are jumping here and there.
Like I say, like I started to say, as a coach, you're recruiting, for 3, 4, 5 years down the road.
Yeah.
So you bring in maybe an undersized quarterback.
Yep.
But you're thinking, okay, your junior and senior year is when I'm expecting you.
Yeah.
The kid comes in and finds out, I'm not going to see any action here for a couple of years.
Right.
Doesn't get that message. Now he jumps.
He's
Now
gone,
the coach is. Now he's looking. He's still got to look 3 years out.
Then you got a guy like JD. The guy from USC. He just got hurt.
Yeah.
He tore an ACL. He was a top quarterback, and he's out for the year at USC.
Yeah.
They brought in a couple guys that are already there, but their whole season's in a flux now.
Yeah.
When he's out.
Yep.
Going to college football, there was some talk about having eight teams make the college football playoffs, which I kind of like. One thing that's kind of interesting is that in college sports or other sports, all sports, like
All sports.
For all sports, for men's basketball, it's like 20% of teams make the NCAA tournament. Mm-hmm. Baseball, 40% of teams make the tournament.
Yeah.
Postseason. Whereas college football, 6% of all teams make the playoffs.
Now, when you say play, you're just talking the two games.
The four teams that are chosen for the Final Four for the college football. There's about 300 Division I teams, and 4 of them make it. So they went to 8 teams.
I think there's always going to be that year where the 9th team has a legit case.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, if you have 8 teams,
why not?
That's everybody that has a chance.
Yeah.
The 11th, 12th, 13th team, they're not going to beat
you're one's going to beat 8 95% of the time.
Right.
And, same thing with the 2 versus 7, blah blah blah. 4 or 5.
So instead of 6%, you might get it to 10 or whatever it is. But anybody who's got a legit
creates excitement.
And anybody who has a legitimate at all chance of winning it is in there.
Yeah.
Because like I say, the number 15 team in college football has got no chance to beat Alabama or Clemson.
Right. And then one way to set up it, you take your 5 Power 5 like SEC, ACC, the winner of that conference goes, and then they have 3 other at-large bids or whatever.
Yeah.
So and then it would be the matter of how you seat them, when they
Yeah.
I don't think there'd be any problem with bowl games. It'd just be just like another bowl game, really.
Yeah.
So I like that.
So
I like
to go 8 now, do you make their season longer, or do they play a
It'd be the same.
an earlier bowl?
10, 11 games, I think. No, I think that
So
would
you got another layer of playoffs.
That would be that would be the thing. You have your automatic league champion, then you have a couple of at-large bids. So if Alabama played Georgia for the SEC championship, Georgia wins, but Alabama was 12-1 at that point.
Yeah.
Alabama could get an at-large bid.
At-large bid.
Yeah.
So like I say, you got another week of games now. If you go from 4 to 8, do you go later in the season?
Just for 4 of those teams.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But where do you play those?
Well,
do you go later into January, or do you?
Well, there's 3 weeks off between the final college football game and the playoffs. So
Right.
Anyway, so.
But you've also got.
I would say you have a week off.
You've got exam week. You've got holidays. You got this and that. You got to figure out for TV when is it going to work.
Well, you figure most colleges get done December 15th, 20th, somewhere in that area.
15th,
So you've got
18th,
those 3-4 weeks they can work that out, because I think the championship game's like January 9th, something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't like the time.
Yeah,
It's a big factor.
January 1st is basically the semifinals, right?
Right.
That's what
Then the
they play
following
now.
week would be
So
finals.
you'd play around.
Right.
So then would you play three weeks in a row? I don't know if you want to do
which would be just like your regular season. I mean.
that. Yeah.
Or do you do it Super Bowl style? Play sometime in December.
Yeah, that would be.
Have your your 2 games for January 1st.
That would be logistics they would obviously have to work out.
And they gotta work that out with
they have to
the
work that
NFL
out.
as well.
Yeah, and they have to have a venue where they play it. They play a neutral site and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, but that's. I don't know if that'll ever. I don't know how, in the near future, if that'll ever come to fruition. 8 teams.
I think it might not go to 8.
I don't think so. And
I
just
don't know.
talk out.
It's more money.
More money, but they get a bowl game. Yeah, I don't know. But there's always that USC, UCF. I mean, that was undefeated the last 2 years, and they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Then you got Notre Dame, who was undefeated and get their butt kicked by Clemson last year. So,
Yep.
it's always a tough one. So I had so week 1 of college football was this past weekend,
Yep.
and all the top 10 teams won except for Miami.
Tennessee?
10. Well, they weren't top 10 though
Oh,
yet,
that's right.
but they all won pretty handily.
Yeah.
Tennessee got upset though. Yeah, that was a big upset at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that guy still has a job, but yeah, it's a tough one. That Miami played Florida. That was a sloppy game. That was the first game of the year. That was a rough one. Alabama took care of Duke. Clemson destroyed Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
And Georgia won. They, same old thing.
And the UConn Huskies have equaled
Oh my God.
last year's win total.
Off a tough Wagner team. Illinois comes in this week. We're gonna see what a butt whipping that team. That's all I gotta say about that one.
Is it Illinois?
Illinois, if you're a bad man, bada boom, bada bing. Illinois is going to, I think, absolutely destroy them. That's at the rent. Yeah. I don't think Illinois is going to mess around. I just think it's going to,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a tough. UConn, I don't know. They're probably wearing.
It'll be interesting. Another thing that happened over summer is UConn is going to go back to the Big East.
Yep.
Well, with the level of with their football program,
Yeah.
One of the reasons the Big East broke up was so these guys wanted football, these guys didn't.
Yeah.
Who got the Big East name was the guys that didn't want the football. So
Right.
now you got UConn out there
Right.
with this huge building and a
They'll be
whole
back
program.
in the Big East for basketball. You're talking about.
Well, the
this
whole
year.
next year.
Next year. Okay.
But the whole thing's going. So UConn football is basically going to have to come up with an independent schedule.
Yeah.
They're going to play St. John's, Georgetown, Villanova, any of that stuff.
They play at Wagner, so they get at least one win anyway. Because I don't know if they're gonna. That's gonna, and they were actually favored in that game. So that's the only game they're all gonna be favored at. The whole rest of the year. I've got NFL starting Thursday night, tomorrow night.
Yep.
Green Bay at Chicago. What do you think about that game? That should be interesting, huh?
Yeah, it should be interesting.
Black and blue division there.
Yeah.
Now you've got Green Bay, who Aaron Rodgers did not play one snap in preseason. Now,
Neither did Le'Veon Bell. Who needs preseason?
yeah, how does that affect Rodgers? That should be very interesting. I don't understand it. I mean, not even one snap. I mean, your timing and everything else. I don't know.
last year we started talking about the shine has kind of really come off of Aaron Rodgers. He's starting to getting chippy. He's not the beloved quarterback in
He could come out and light him up tomorrow too. He could go 30 for 35 for 350, and it wouldn't surprise you. But then also he can go 20 for 30 and have a tough day because he's a little rusty. So I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers, a lot of times if you look at his games, he throws an early pick.
Yeah.
And again,
takes chances.
Not taking any.
He gets in that window, man. He gets
any snaps at all or whatever else.
Yeah.
That one early pick could turn into something.
He's
and you're playing a great defense.
I'd have to say he's one of the most essential. He's the most important guy to a team almost in the NFL. If you don't have Rodgers playing for you, then they win two games.
That team, yeah.
I mean that particular team. Yeah. Otherwise, a lot of teams could survive that.
Yeah.
But some good cut. They cut down this weekend. And Brian Hoyer got cut by the Patriots. They went with Stidham as their backup, young guy. And the Colts signed Brian Hoyer out of that. Hoyer, But Jacoby Brissett, they extended him. Colts extended him. So they're going with him. They might be. They're not going to be hurt too bad by having Luck retire. But what do you think about Luck retiring, though? That was something, though.
See, looking at it from the viewpoint of the Colts, the front office.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew, do you think we could have had this conversation before the draft?
Yeah.
He really leaves them high and dry. And I know,
Yeah.
I understand why he's retiring.
That's one perspective. I think from his point of view, he actually thought he could tough it out and be okay.
Yeah.
And he probably didn't want to tell him, I'm not playing, and then he go draft somebody. But even if whoever they drafted was not going to be as good as Jacoby Brissett anyway, I don't think.
Yeah.
But
to go, you go through 75% of your preseason camp.
Right.
And then.
Well, I think that, and then there was actually fans who were mad at him for doing that, and I'm like, how can the guy, for 4 years, has been hurt, rehab.
Oh, yeah.
And not just during the season, all year long.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where like, what the heck? What am I doing?
Yeah. But like I say, I think the fans said they were booing him and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but they look at it like, again,
That's pretty good though. So I mean,
you're young.
Yeah.
You've been injured or whatever else, but I think a lot of it was you're doing this 10 days before opening day.
Right. I think he took it to the extreme where he thought he could do it, but obviously couldn't. There was another guy, I forget, I wish I had the name. There was a former player who says that, young guy, he said he gets out of bed. He says you can hardly get out of bed, first of all. Yeah. Takes him a half hour to put his pants on. He said, from all different injuries, and he doesn't remember where he is and things like that.
Yeah.
And the fans don't see that.
Right.
They don't see the guy at home where he goes to the kitchen and goes, why am I here? Oh, yeah, to get some milk. You know what I mean? And those things. Yeah, I do that too. And I haven't gotten hit. Yeah, that's the truth. I mean, so
the
wear and tear these guys.
You look at some of these guys. I mean, elite athletes.
Yeah.
But when they're 50 years old, to watch them walk across the room is painful.
Yeah. And I can never blame a football player for getting as much money as possible whenever he can get it.
Absolutely.
Especially with these guaranteed contracts. I mean, at least you got that money. Like Zeke Elliott just got signed.
Yeah.
By the Cowboys. I mean, you're one hit away from being a security guard, like I said. I mean,
unless you're Tom Brady, because nobody can hit him.
Pliable.
Oh, pliable.
Yeah, pliable. Yeah. So the Cowboys expect, and nowadays you see the trend in pro football where guys don't even play preseason anymore.
Yeah.
They just rest out, and then because you have so many bullets in your gun that you want to save those bullets for the regular season.
Yeah.
So
you play the first quarter of the third exhibition game or something.
I don't know what good that does either.
Yeah.
And obviously if you practice well, you're all set for your games. But I mean football is brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
So my Jets got better.
They should be pretty good this year, I think.
I think so.
Pretty decent. Yeah.
Darnold had a good rookie season last year. You got to figure he's going to continue to progress.
He's a franchise quarterback. He's
picked
good.
up Le'Veon Bell.
Yep.
Which if he buys into, I'm here to be a team player.
Yep.
Gives them now a running game, takes a little bit of pressure off of Darnold. I think Darnold can prosper in that.
Yep.
Got some deep threats. And then they picked up Queen Williams from Alabama, the first pick in the draft, who
I think
might be the guy that can actually sack
put some pressure
Tom
on the
Brady.
quarterback. Yeah, the other thing too in football is that people don't understand that, if you have a good offense that at least controls the clock a little bit and give you some drives, and the defense rests a little bit and get their stuff together. Yeah. Get these teams on defense on the field. 3/4 of the game. By the fourth quarter, they're done.
Yeah.
They're done.
Oh, yeah, and you see it now. All of a sudden, you get a guy like Belichick or something
Yeah.
like that who's a master game planner.
Yeah.
And they look, it's a tight game, and he comes to the fourth quarter. The defense has been out there. Okay, now he's going to start running the ball.
Yeah, and bring in Burkhead or some guy off the bench that hasn't played all game and is fresh as heck, and he just barrels through the defense. I mean, and that's the way you do it.
I was talking with a guy out at my golf club the other day over at Farmington Woods, who went to school with Bill Belichick at Wesleyan.
Oh wow.
He said after the second football game, Belichick's freshman year, the game's on Saturday, whatever else.
Belichick's playing at this point?
He's playing. He's a student playing.
Right.
He's played a couple games. Now, his dad was a football coach.
Right.
And after the second game, they have their Tuesday meeting or Monday meeting or whatever else. Belichick starts breaking down film.
Okay.
And the head coach of the football team's going, "Oh, who's this kid breaking down film?" But he's listening to him. He's going, "Yeah, keep going." Freshman in college.
Absolutely.
And knew more about the game and this guy's got to go here.
Had a
That's
gift.
just a genius.
Had a gift, absolutely.
How many more years do you think that Belichick and Brady, what do you think?
I would say 2.
You get 2 more
2,
years?
maybe 3, yeah. 3 max.
Think Brady can play 3 more years?
I think they both go out together.
I think so.
They just go out together right off the sunset. I don't think Brady will ever get hurt. I really don't. He's just too smart. Too
So
elusive.
he's going to be how old this year now?
Was he 42?
So
42, I think.
you really think he'll go to 45?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone can, he will.
Yeah.
You know.
And again, he's smart. They have the they protect him.
Yeah.
But
Never gets hit.
late last year, and I think we talked about this. Jets were playing the Patriots.
Yep.
It was after Christmas.
Yep.
It's over for the Jets
Yep.
or whatever else.
Yep.
But it was so evident the difference.
Yep.
Brady gets under a little bit of pressure, throws it away.
Yeah.
Donald gets under pressure, tries to force something to happen,
Yep.
throws a pick.
Yep. Live another down.
And
huge.
we've said it. It's the intelligence and the game sense of Brady.
Yep.
But it's also Brady knows that
Yep.
we can convert 3rd and 13.
Yep.
Whereas Donald,
And
the Jets offense isn't at that
Him and
stage.
Peyton Manning would go up to the line, and they would know where the pressure's coming from, and adjust the coverages. I mean, the blocking schemes.
Yeah.
And never get a free shot on.
Omaha.
Yeah. Like one of the things I was just saying to somebody today is, it's so imperative for the Cowboys to sign Ezekiel Elliott because of his blocking blitzes. I mean, there was one play in preseason where Zeke's replacement got blown up on a block, and he almost decapitated Prescott.
Yep.
So I mean, you obviously can't lose your quarterback to a guy that can't block.
Right.
I mean, and Zeke Elliott's a tremendous blocker. So I mean, that's another little thing that people don't understand. It's a big part of the game. Can your back stay in a pass protect? And they have to do that because the guy gets hit, free shot. Ooh.
Again, running backs and tight ends, we forget that.
Yep.
Their blocking skill.
The quarterback's the most important athlete on the field in almost any sport. Controls everything.
Yeah.
And if he gets hit and you lose your top quarterback, your season's almost done.
Yeah.
You're done. So what happened to the Jets lost Darnell first game? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They wouldn't have a chance.
Yep.
They wouldn't have a chance. So it's kind of an interesting take on that. Now you have Alabama blew out Duke, right? And Tua looked pretty good.
Yep.
First half, and he has a little brother that's a quarterback too.
Yeah.
He played toward the end of the game. Then you got Clemson with Trevor Lawrence, looks unbelievable, 6'6". He has a cannon. And Oklahoma, Jalen Hurts, Oklahoma game against Houston. Mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts had like 500 yards of offense total. And Ramon Shelburne asked him after the game, "How'd you do?" And he was like, "All right." She's like, "You just had 500 yards total offense." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Why is you smiling?" He goes, "Well, we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
We got to clean up a lot of stuff." She's like, "Can you give me a smile?" He's like, "No, I'm okay." So the point being is that he's from Alabama, where the standard is so high. Now he's at Oklahoma, and he understands what it takes to be a champion.
Right.
And she's asking a question. He's like, "I don't."
We're not that good.
Slow down a little bit.
There's a lot of things that have to happen.
Clean up. Yeah. So that was a pretty good take on him.
Yep.
He was elected captain for Oklahoma too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of rare for a transfer to do that. So,
Yeah.
He's a good leader. I was glad to see him do well. He's a good guy, and he did it right.
Yeah.
stayed at Alabama and saved the game for Alabama 2 years ago, and now he's a man in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Maybe have 3 Heisman Trophy winners in a row. Wouldn't that be something? All right. Giants play the Cowboys this weekend. That should be a good one.
Jets play the Bills.
Jets play the Bills. Both teams be 2-0. What do you think?
2-0 in 1 week?
Both of them.
How about 1-0? How about we win one at a time?
1-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the.
Like I said, I'm excited about the football season, but I'm always excited at the beginning. Usually by Columbus Day, my excitement has waned.
You figure the Jets got to play those teams twice. They beat the Bills twice. They beat Miami twice. Split with New England. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
You know, those are games you got to beat Bills twice. You got to beat Miami twice.
Yeah.
And 4 wins right there.
That's
so
tough to do.
It's tough to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Home and home, it's tough to do. Now, Giants Cowboys should be an interesting game. Cowboys, I think, are very, very, very good. Defensively, especially, they're pretty solid. So I think the Giants have a tough test. I think they're going down there, right? I think going at Dallas. They're at Dallas. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Tough one. Sunday night game is Pittsburgh at New England. That should be fun to watch.
Always
Should be a good one.
somewhat of a rivalry.
Yeah. I'm sure Pittsburgh's happy that Antonio Brown's out of there. Oh my God, that guy is crazy, isn't he? With the helmet, he was grieving the helmets, and then
They have.
my goodness gracious.
They're the first Monday night game.
Yeah,
Broncos.
with the Denver and Denver
Broncos
Oakland,
Raiders. Yeah.
I think the Raiders gonna have a tough year.
Yeah. So they've updated the helmets.
Yeah.
For concussion prevention and safety of the players. And
As-
Antonio Brown wants his old helmet back.
Yeah, as per the players' union too. They voted for that.
Yeah.
Players did.
Yeah.
And he wants his darn helmet. They gave him a year to have their own helmet, and then they were going to transition to a better helmet for your own good.
Yeah,
And he wants his helmet back.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
seriously.
your brain won't be jelly.
Yeah. Then he was just sit out a year. I mean, the guy is he's such a drama queen. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Pittsburgh's like, thank the Lord that he's not here anymore.
Yeah.
Like, listen to this
Now Chucky's got to
rigmarole.
Yeah.
And Gruden's going to have boy, that's a tough one.
Jets got a Monday night game week 2.
Who they got?
They have Browns.
Browns. Okay.
The new
Browns open
Browns.
up with the Titans at home. I think the Titans are going to have a tough year.
Yeah.
I think the Browns are going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So that should be a good one. And then you've got a couple other good games coming up. How about Seattle getting Clowney? Help them out defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's another head case, but they got him. Another guy is a freaking.
Not to judge,
Yeah, what do I know? I mean, I don't know anything. But college football, you got a couple decent games this week. You got Texas A&M at Clemson. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Texas A&M's pretty good. So that should be a good test for Clemson. See what they got. LSU, Texas, Saturday night at Texas. That should be a good one.
Always got to root for LSU.
Yeah,
Always like LSU.
That's a great. They got a good offense now. Because Joe Burrow is a quarterback for LSU. They got a new offense. Joe Moorhead's their offensive coordinator, and he's from up here. He's from Fordham, and LSU's pretty good. It's a good test for both those teams.
I've always been a kind of fan of LSU. I had a cousin who went there, and I remember one year we went down and met him at his house after work. I flew down into New Orleans, drove over, and he says, "Oh, come on, we'll take a ride around campus." It's Friday evening, 5, 6 o'clock. We go drive around campus. Parking lot's 75% full. Game's not until 8 o'clock the next night.
Wow.
I mean, it's just they're
crazy.
It's serious down there.
Yeah, definitely crazy. Yeah. Golf. What's going on with golf?
Golf is season's over.
Season is over.
Season is over.
All the majors
which
are done.
means the new season starts. So this is the first year of the new schedule.
Okay.
And I'm going to go on record. I'm not a fan of this. They don't want to compete with the NFL, and I get that. So it used to be that they'd play the Masters in April, U.S. Open in June,
Okay.
the Open Championship in Scotland, Ireland, it was Northern Ireland this year, would be July, and then August would be the PGA. Then they would start the FedEx Cup, which is their kind of playoff thing.
Okay.
They didn't want to go up against the NFL, which I get. So they shifted everything forward. They put the PGA back into May. So the last major of the year is the Open Championship in July. And then they played the FedEx Cup in August. So that was one big change. I worry as somebody in the golf industry that golf season's over. So now there's no interest.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have Ryder Cups and Solheim Cups and President's Cups and things like that will happen in September, October.
Okay.
But
but that's over. So the other thing that they did is in the FedEx Cup, when they play these different events, the Tour Championship is at East Lake, which is actually a great story of what they've done to that community, but that's the end of it. And this year what they did is they basically handicapped it. So Justin Thomas had the best first 3 events. So before the tournament even started, he was 10 under par. And then Rory McIlroy was 5 under par. So they kind of gave him the advantage. And there was a lot of talk like, this is crazy, how can you do that, or whatever else. It worked out perfect as it happened to work out. Justin Thomas had kind of a flat week. So he started the tournament 10 under without hitting a shot. And I think he finished the week at 11 under. So he shot 1 under for the 72 holes. McIlroy ended up winning. It played really, really well. Koepka was kind of in the
good
mix.
Concept?
Like I say, it worked out okay. But the guy who's
trying to
basically
generate interest, is that what they're trying to do? Or?
they're trying to do it in such a way that when you're watching the tournament, you only look at one scoreboard.
Oh, okay.
So when Justin Thomas, in the old days, he would be, say, even par, but he'd be in second in the standings for the FedEx Cup. Now you look at it and whatever it is. And so, like I say, it worked out great. McIlroy played really well. When McIlroy is on, he's the best player in the world.
Okay.
He's a little streaky. So he won the Varden Trophy, which is the lowest scoring average for the year for the tour. Brooks Koepka had another really solid year. He got Player of the Year. I saw a stat. Now Rory winning the FedEx Cup, so he won that tournament. There's a purse for that, and then he won the FedEx Cup, which is the playoff, which is it's an all-year thing. $15 million.
Wow.
So when they add up all his winnings for the year, just on the PGA Tour, not the European Tour or anything else, the number of holes he played in on the PGA Tour in the tournament, and then how much he won, it comes out to over $14,000 per hole.
Wow.
Like they'll talk to like these pitchers. They'll say, well, he signs this huge contract. He's making X number of dollars per inning, $14,000 a hole.
Wow.
I might play an extra night.
Yeah. 4 holes, you're good.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see, like I say, kind of what's the interest in golf now at the end of the year. The next season has started because they do these wraparound seasons, but I'll be interested to look at kind of TV ratings and things like that.
I think for me, as a not a golf fan at all, I'll be honest with you, but if like when Tiger Woods was at the top of his game, I would watch it just to see him play.
Oh yeah.
I think it's what they need. Some kind of
there's no
John Daly, like one of these characters or something.
No question. I mean, when Tiger won at Augusta back in April, I mean the TV ratings were through the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, like 3-4 times.
Same thing with tennis. Serena plays or someone plays or Sharapova or one of these guys.
Last time I was watching tennis, it was Chrissy Evert and Bjorn Borg.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Although I have to say, I've been watching a little bit of the U.S. Open this year, and John McEnroe, who as a player, I never really liked him. I kind of appreciated the stoicism of a Bjorn Borg. Guillermo Vilas was another favorite of mine, and I didn't really like the little bratty attitude of McEnroe. He's really turned into, I think, a very good commentator, a lot of good insight, and I kind of enjoy listening.
It's kind of must-see TV when he was playing tennis, so you want to see what he did. I think Kritkos, the tennis player, that's nuts. It's always yelling. Yelling at the line judge, not line judge.
There was a great piece McEnroe was talking about as a kid. His dad would yell at McEnroe for yelling at the at the judge, the line judges and stuff like that. But so instead of saying, John, this is not how we treat people, he's yelling at the kid.
Yeah, of course.
Where do you think the kid got it
Apple
from?
doesn't fall far from the tree. Yeah. All right, so we got pro football starting this weekend, second week of college, and we'll be back in 2 weeks to see how
in 2 weeks
how it played out.
And hey, maybe the Mets will still be in the running.
Hopefully they'll still be in it. Yeah.
All right. Hey Joe,
George,
nice to be back.
Nice to be back.
All right.
All right.